January 13th, 2014 was just another day at the movies for most people, but for Chad Olson, it would mark the beginning of a deadly encounter, one that would end in tragedy. Curtis J. Reeves Jr., a 71-year-old retired police captain, walked into the theater that afternoon carrying a .38 caliber handgun in his pocket. He and his wife were there to watch a matinee showing of Lone Survivor. Perhaps, like most moviegoers, they didn't give much thought to the previews flashing across the screen. But there was one message that seemed to capture Curtis's attention, one urging viewers not to talk or text during the movie. We've all seen those screens come up that say, "Turn off your cell phone, please." Little did he know that very warning would set the stage for what was about to unfold. Sitting in front of Curtis were Chad Olson and his wife, Nicole. As the movie began, Chad, ever the devoted father, pulled out his phone to text the babysitter about their young daughter, Alexis. The glow of his phone lit up the darkness of the theater, a small light visible to those who were seated around him. Curtis asked him to stop texting, but Chad, ever the doting father, explained that he was just checking in with the babysitter to make sure that his 2-year-old daughter was okay. But despite the reasonable explanation, Curtis wasn't satisfied. He stormed off to find a theater manager, but when he returned, he was alone. However, the tension, it was mounting. The disagreement between these two men escalated. Another moviegoer, Mark Douglas Turner, who had spent 27 years in the Air Force, he recalled a calm and composed Chad Olson say, "Do you mind? I've got a voicemail from my daughter's babysitter. Do you mind if I check to see if my daughter's all right?" But that's when the atmosphere shifted. The words got louder as the two men began to argue back and forth. The tension grew, and what had been a simple disagreement over phone etiquette now felt like something far darker. And then Chad Olson made a fatal move. He stood up and he faced Curtis Reeves. Then he threw his bag of popcorn at him, with some of the kernels apparently hitting Curtis in the face. The movie theater was still dark. The movie hadn't even started yet. And Curtis would later say that he wasn't exactly sure what was thrown at him. He only saw it as a dark object. That's when he reached for his .38 caliber pistol and fired a shot directly at Chad. Chad's wife, who had placed her hand on her husband's chest when he stood up in an effort to get him to sit back down, would be struck in the finger by the bullet as it entered her husband's body. According to other moviegoers, Chad yelled out, "I can't believe he shot me," as he stumbled back and fell on the person next to him.